I'm the programme lead for the MSc in Medical Bioscience. We've just had it recently revalidated, and we've altered some of the programme offering. So it's just to talk you through some of the modules and some of the information and some of the transferable skills that you would accumulate if you undertook the MSc in Medical Bioscience at Glasgow Caledonian University. We aim to incorporate careers track, which is building up a portfolio of transferable skills and graduate attributes that you will accumulate whilst undertaking the programme. So the next slide just here shows that we pride ourselves in offering research-led teaching. So I'm a microbiologist, but we also have other disciplines, scientists of different disciplines throughout our department. And the MSc in Medical Bioscience has different disciplines incorporated into its programme, including aspects of molecular biology, pharmacology, microbiology, cell biology, and virology. So we've got leading experts in the fields that all contribute to the teaching, which gives it a research-led focus, so giving you up-to-date and appropriate learning of these topics within the medical bioscience field. So some of our graduates go on and work within the medical bioscience career field. So some students continue with academia and go on to a PhD study, but there's been other graduates that have gone on to work within different life science disciplines, including working as a quality assurance, a study director, and they've also been taken into research and development roles within industry in the UK and worldwide. Some students have gone on and taken on teaching roles, including those in secondary schools and further education colleges, and other students have gone on and taken up roles as scientific sales and equipment specialists. So this is the new offering of the modules on the Medical Bioscience programme. The trimester A and B contains 3 modules, and each are worth 20 credits. So the whole programme, you must accumulate 180 credits to be able to exit with an MSc. So in trimester A, there's 3 offerings, and there's no optional choice. And then in trimester B, there's another 3 20-credit modules that also offers a choice of the last module. And this is important because it offers the opportunity to take a module that has your specific interests. And these optional modules will lead on to your MSc research project. So one will be based on a microbiology project, and the other one will be based on a cell biology project. So the bacterial pathogenicity module will lead into the microbiology offering as a research project, and the cancer biology and advanced therapeutic modules would lead on to the cell biology project offering. So in the next few slides, I'm just going to discuss some of the modules and some of the content and how it's been assessed. So the first module that we come to speak about will be led by Dr. Gillian Hunter, and Gillian has expertise in genetics and cell biology. And the new module called Genomics for Medical Bioscience is designed to provide a foundation in the analysis of genomes. So you learn about DNA, genomic variation, gene expression, and some of the diseases that are caused by defects in the genetic makeup. This module will encourage the development of advanced analytical skills in genomics, transcriptomics, and bioinformatics. So the assessments will be based around about the interpretation of data that is generated during these types of methodologies. And learning in this module is covered by lectures and sets of tutorials to expand the theory gained from the lecture material to develop both bioinformatic and analytical skills and be able to apply them in modern molecular genomics. Frances McInnes is the module lead for the Bioscience Toolkit, and these modules have been developed to really develop your graduate attributes and transferable skills. So the Bioscience Toolkit 1 will help students with an underpinning of digital technology, because this is an important transferable skill for the life science industry and any other graduate employment that is looking to undertake your careers. So what's included in this module will include communication and collaboration, ICT literacy, information literacy, learning skills, and media literacy. And that's about learning how to retrieve data, to retrieve information, and being able to communicate that professionally. There's also a part within this module where you will be developing your practical skills, and this programme really helps to enable the learning of your practical skills from being able to manage simple lab equipment to be able to use more complicated equipment, including lab automation and molecular and cell biology and microbiology techniques, and being able to conduct them in a safe environment, and being able to conduct research. This module is continually assessed, and there will be the building in of a lab portfolio, and this will be signed off and includes a way to show future employers about the lab skills that you have accomplished and effectively learned. The last module in trimester A is Case Studies in Medical Bioscience, and this is run by Dr. Baker. And this module will provide an understanding of the significant medical conditions currently reducing the quality of life of the global population. So these are really investigating diseases that are prevalent throughout the world, and look with a focus on the pathology and epidemiology, and it also includes the treatments and current prevention strategies. And the way this is assessed is through different methods. It can include the production of an infographic. It can also be asked to produce a welfare leaflet to be able to explain to the general public about the disease, so being able to communicate effectively with the public using scientific terminology and trying to break that down to help the public understand. So again, this is helping with science communication. And there's also the opportunity to participate in a debate where students will take a different role and be able to address the question and give a positive and a negative argument, and then have the opportunity to vote on the outcome or your opinion of the data that's been given. So moving on to trimester B, we've got another 3 20-credit modules. And again, these all include authentic assessments to really help the transferable skills and not rely on the need for a terminal exam. So we're using authentic assessments to try and address the learning outcomes of the modules. So just to talk a little bit about the modules in trimester B. So the first module I'm going to discuss now is the Bioscience Toolkit 2, and this is a continuation and developing the skills that you've learned from the Toolkit 1. So again, this is moving on to more advanced laboratory techniques, and you'll have a research element pulled into this, so you'll have the opportunity to develop your own research and experiments within a lab environment and learn more complicated techniques and use a bit more critical analysis and data interpretation. The Bioscience Toolkit 2 also has the opportunity to bring some statistical reasoning and statistical analysis into methodology, which again, it runs in parallel with the research project design module that is led by Yvonne Dempsey. There's also the opportunity in the Bioscience Toolkit to work on transferable skills and graduate attributes, and there is a continuation of the careers track portfolio where you'll be asked to be involved in employability, and we have alumni and other professionals from the life science industry coming in to work on discussions and to help you learn about their pathways and their journeys to their current positions. The second module is the research project design, and this is led by Dr. Yvonne Dempsey, and Yvonne's a pharmacologist, but within this module you'll be able to select a research project on a topic of medical bioscience that is preferred by yourself in your area of interest. And what you'll be asked in this module, which is also continually assessed, is to develop a project design, so looking at how to develop the experiments that are required to be able to ask of your aims of the project. So you'll be developing a critical understanding of research methodology, and you can choose from various topics and write a project proposal. There'll be aspects of ethics and regulation brought into that about the use of animal models of disease, and of course the ethics associated with the use of this. There are tutorials about developing a research project that will be delivered, but this is a really a student-centred learning module, so it is really driven by the student, and it will bring in the way to develop experimental methods and how that would address the questions of your aims of your project and how that will impact the scientific and wider public communities. Excuse me. So the last modules is a choice, and dependent on your choice will lead you into the area of your MSc research project, which is worth 60 credits. So the choices in trimester B is cancer biology and advanced therapeutics or bacterial pathogenicity. So cancer biology is led by Dr. Mark Williams, and this will give you the opportunity to study advanced topics in the major causes of death in the Western world, and it will provide a grounding of current knowledge of oncology and includes things like cancer hallmarks and the biology of the cancers and the molecular biology and the immune and cellular-based therapies that are used to treat these diseases. Dr. Ryan Keane will lead the bacterial pathogenicity module, and this module will allow the in-depth and advanced levels of mechanisms that are employed by bacterial pathogens to cause disease. So it will give you an advanced understanding of how bacteria can cause disease. And these both modules are continually assessed. So you'll have a coursework assessment, and you'll also build portfolios studying either a bacterial pathogen or a cancer disease. So the last part of your programme is moving on to your 60 credit research project, and this is conducted in trimester C. So the MSc research project is worth 60 credit, and it's the only module that you'll do in trimester C. And this is a laboratory-based project carried out by yourselves. And this is designed to give you a unique set of skills and knowledge in three key subject areas. So either cell and molecular biology, pharmacology, and microbiology. Depending on the module that you've taken as a choice, then it will be based more on microbiology or more on cell biology, but we will bring aspects of the host pathogen interaction and how these diseases that you may be studying within your project are treated, and looking at novel techniques on of being able to treat these diseases. So the laboratory projects will involve working individually under the supervision of a supervisor to investigate a research question, and you'll be able to analyse and interpret these experiments individually. You'll acquire a broad range of technical skills and expertise in medical bioscience, and this is useful in the wider context of working in a research and academia or industrial settings in the future. During the project, you'll not only accumulate practical skills, but you will also, again, develop skills about science communication. So you would present a poster, and we try and hold an early career research day where you will be speaking with like-minded individuals, including our PhD students and postdocs, and that are in an early career research position, to be able to talk about ideas and communicate the data generated during your project. So I hope this answers all the questions about our MSc in Medical Bioscience. Myself and Dr. Taylor are here to answer any questions that may have arisen during this presentation. So I think there's a few questions in the chat, so we'll try and address these if you have any questions.
Thank you so much, Janice. That was amazing. Great presentation. I hope this has been really useful for everyone. Oh, there's a question coming in now. I was just going to ask if anyone had any. It'll disappear.
In order to work within the UK as a biomedical scientist, you must have an accredited degree. That's not. This is governed by the Healthcare Protection Council, so all the information is on the HCPC websites that we can obtain links to. It doesn't, the postgraduate programs don't qualify you for this. It's not accredited, but it's not to say that your undergraduate degree is not recognised, but you can have your undergraduate degree screened to be able to see if it is eligible for you to gain HCPC accreditation. I hope that answers your question, Emmanuel.
Emmanuel, are you specifically speaking about working within the NHS in the UK?
I was just going to try and find the links there for the HCPC registration. I've got them somewhere because we just spoke about this in the last few weeks.
So Janice will add some links into the chat where you can have your degree assessed to see whether what kind of top-up modules you would need for registration to work in the NHS. Does anyone else have any questions?
I'm sure Hannah's been over lots of things about why GCU is the University of Common Good. There's lots of information on our website. The campus at GCU is relatively small and it's right in the centre of town. And we have a really positive collegiate environment, not only department, but university-wide. So there's lots of students that get together from all different parts of the world and become firm friends, and they keep in touch with us too, which is always nice to hear how they're doing.
That's right, Janice. I'm just popping a link into the chat just to kind of replicate what you were saying there around kind of international study at GCU. So there's lots of useful information at this link about why to study at Glasgow Caledonian, including a study guide and postgraduate information, award-winning support. There's also lots of links that can help you out with things like funding and accommodation and how to apply, and then the application process itself. So along with all the links that Janice is just adding just now, I'll add that in as well, because it can sometimes be really helpful when you're making your final decisions.
Does anyone else have any questions about the degree itself or about Glasgow, the university, anything you'd like to ask living in Scotland?
And yes, it's true, it is cold. But the summers are nice.
But cool.
It's just different. Good scenery. So it looks as if we've got students from Nigeria and applicants from Pakistan. We've had both large cohorts from both Nigeria and from Pakistan. So there's lots of students that have came over and made friends from their cohorts and are still in touch.
Does anyone else have any more questions? If you want to type them into the chat for us. Has this helped to give you an overview of the programme?
I always feel like you need to give it a bit of a delay while people are typing. And then as soon as I start talking, something comes in and I have to disappear again. It's great to see people joining us from all over, though. It's really good news.
And be introduced to the accents before they arrive here.
Exactly. Exactly. That can be a learning in itself. Okay. Well, I think if there's no more questions from anyone, what I'll do is I will put in a link to the inquiries inbox. So the inquiries at GCU email address, which is where you can access any more information that you need. And if there's anything specific for Janice, then obviously that can be passed along. I can make sure that happens. So if you have anything specific or anything that's just more generic about studying at GCU, the email address to contact us is studentinquiries@gcu.ac.uk. Just make sure that goes in. There we go. So I think, Janice, your presentation must have been so good that there's no questions on the back of it.
Yeah,
so that's a good sign. Right, that's great. I think that's us. So just another note, just to mention that the presentation itself has been recorded, so we'll send that out to all the attendees from today, but also to anyone who hasn't been able to register or hasn't been able to join us. We'll make sure that that's sent out to all the applicants and offer holders to the programme. And again, if you have any further questions, then please do get in touch. We're here. We're always here to answer your queries, so would happily do that for you if there's anything you need in order to progress onto the course in September. But I think aside from that, we will be running another webinar probably in a couple of months' time. But if we don't see you there, we hope to see you on campus in September. That would be great. Thank you so much to Janice for that enlightening presentation. And thank you, Janice Taylor, as well, for being present in our chat box. Very much appreciated. So thanks to everyone, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye just now.
Thanks.
Bye.